All right, Monday, July 14. So let's see what we got going on here. We'll look at the ES first really quickly on this is a 1 minute chart. Looks like we're going to gap down a little bit at the open. And, we got some support levels here. 22,840 and also 22,830s. So I think these are interesting levels. Let's see. If we do open around this previous day low area, well, this will be the new previous day low. So in between this low and this low, we'll see what price does. If we push up, we'll look for a short back up into the close here. But let's see. I think today might be a little bit more bearish, just with all the tariff stuff, and there doesn't seem to be too much economic news today. So we could drift down, and then we'll see some volatility later, but who knows. If we look at the daily really quickly, so the daily, yeah, we're still kind of in this weekly range here. So you got your previous week low, previous week high, so nice little range. I think we'll open right in the middle of it. So, we're kind of bouncing up and down. I do kind of watching how the HMA is curled above, and so for me that's a little bit of a bearish signal, but our EMA cloud is still green, so there's no short yet on the daily, but I think there's some pause happening here. So let's see what that looks like. Obvious down short target if you're on the daily is probably this 22,450, let's say, because it's that previous high there. But let's see what that looks like. If you look at the ES really quick, same story really. It's exactly the same chart almost. Opening in this weekly range here, HMA is curling above, so it looks like it wants to be bearish, but the EMA cloud is still green, so I'm going to leave it alone. But if you were looking to short on the daily, I think 6170 would be a good target. But let's see, if this previous week low holds at 6240, let's call it, then there might be continuation up. So let's see what happens. Relative volume on the daily is kind of cooling off, so that's interesting. I didn't look at that on the daily for the NQ. Yeah, cooling off a bit, had a nice little push up. So let's see what that looks like. If we go back to the minute chart, for key levels, I have my key level indicators, which are just previous day highs and opens and lows and all that. But we'll check our little handy dandy AI bot really quick. I just updated the data on it for key levels, so let's see what it comes back with. It's taking a while to think. I did look at Grok while that's loading. So overall case, seems like when you search all of X, it's more bearish than bullish. So, if most people are wrong, maybe we're going to continue going up because sentiment seems to be bullish, or sentiment seems to be bearish on X. But let's see. Okay, so for NQ, we got some short-term support on 2280s, which I called that out earlier, around this area. Resistance 2300s. Yeah, 2300 seems to be legit, so leave that alone. 30 demand zone 22,800. Yeah, I agree with those. Yeah, so nothing out of the ordinary, I think, on these levels for NQ, which is fine. Volume dropped slightly on Friday, on the 11th. Is that the 11th? Had negative volume, but price held. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Let's look at ES really quick. Alright, so we got short-term support, 6276. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's kind of four-hour low, this pre-market low, and kind of this consolidation area here. So yeah, that works. 3-2 on a supply zone, I suppose. Long-term support, 6145. 6145. Yeah, I mean, I guess with the previous way down here, 6145. I mean, that's out of the range for me today, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, so nothing crazy there. So we got some absorption. So we got major absorption on ES at 6310 to 6330. So that's something I care about. So 6310, 6310 and 6330. So there's been some absorption in this zone. Okay, I just kind of mark that for reference in an NQ. We got 2300s. So we can mark that 2300s. Okay, this looks more juicy for me than the ES. So a nice little absorption area zone here. Drops above 23.1. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Neutral to bearish short unless reclaiming those upper absorption zones. So interesting that Grok and GPT says we're kind of bearish today. I mean, we'll see. We are opening gap down. A little reminder here from some trading psychology books, which is great. Okay, cool. We'll do that. Let's see if any market news or events today that I should worry about. Yep, trade tariffs. Ooh, crypto divergence. So Bitcoin's up. Yeah, we got CPI tomorrow, PPI on Wednesday. So today it might just be sideways for sure. Just a drift day, I think. Yeah, range bound, which I agree with. It's fine. So yeah, maybe there's not much today. I think today just might be a little bit sideways into last week's range. We are gapping down, so obviously if we do spike into, let's say we open at 22,900, I think a spike into 34 is not enough. I would say a spike into 950, like in between these two areas, I would look for a short. If we flush down to kind of this is the weekly open, it's potentially 22,800, maybe look for a long. And if we kind of go sideways, we'll just wait and just see how big the range opens and then play the other side. But yeah, I think today's going to be just a mean reversion day, but not a lot to play on in the first, let's say, 30 minutes, I think. And then for the ES, yeah, similar story. I mean, I think, yeah, 60, I take a long here, the 60 to 66 area, all the way down to 62.50. If we get down here, see what it looks like, and then if we turn, definitely go for the long. Pushing back up here to this 6300s, would look for the short. I mean, that's basically it, nothing crazy. All right, I guess we'll see what the morning brings.